magnesium, morphine, compazine, Toradol, Zofran, a lot of Zofran, relentless nausea, throwing up bile, dry heaving all night. It's passing 9 in the morning and I didn't sleep all night. My first night being admitted. They admitted me for a hypertensive crisis. My blood pressure was 263 over 135. The EMT said I'm very lucky I didn't stroke out. They were so concerned. They said it was very dangerous and critical, and I'm lucky I didn't end up in the ICU. I probably should have, but just an update. I can't really say much now. I'm really weak. I need prayers. This is so hard. It's just too much. I got super lucky with the view. So grateful I got a window view. I literally prayed for my room in my hospital when I was in the ER and they told me I was admitted. I prayed I would get a window view and then I wouldn't get a haunted room. So far, both prayers were answered. Thank you, God. Praise God. I got a grilled cheese because they really want me to eat. I haven't ate in 3 or 4 days, which is not really abnormal for me. My gastroparesis and pancreatic insufficiency, my pancreas is failing, causes a lot of pain. And the gastroparesis causes a lot of nausea. So between the pain and nausea, every bite, every sip that I take is really painful. So it's always a challenge to eat, and it sucks because I'm a foodie. Anyone that knows me knows how much I love food. I dream about food. I literally I think about food all the time. I just love food, so I try to eat whenever I can, even though it hurts. I just force myself. So they really wanted to see me eat, so I got a grilled cheese. I'm not vegan anymore because I'm not able to eat many things. I'm allergic to a lot of things, so I'm eating whatever I can these days. So I do have cheese here and there, even though I am intolerant, but it's like one of the only things that I'm actually like, I don't have anaphylaxis to, or I don't know, but it still makes me really sick. So I had like a bite and I'm already like, my stomach is killing me. So yeah, we shall see how this goes, but they want to see me eat before I can like get cleared or anything like that to go home. Or they're talking about a GJ feeding tube, but I need an endoscopy first, and then my blood pressure has to be at least 150 systolic and to get it cleared for the surgery, because they need to put me under. They don't want my blood pressure to be critical or really, really high where I could stroke out while I'm under. So we're trying to get that lower. It's a little lower, it's a little more stable, which is good. Today's the 3rd day I'm in the hospital. So they finally have it a little more stable. They tried me, I'm on 2 new blood pressure medicines, which so far I'm tolerating. I'm taking one in the morning, one at night, and that's been helping more than like anything thus far, which is really good. I'm grateful for that. Right now they're monitoring my heart, my blood pressure, waiting for it to get a little better, even though it's a little more stable than it was, thankfully. And they want to see me eat, or I don't know, they're trying to figure out what's the next step for my nutrition. They don't want to do TPN, it's too risky. I have my small bowel still works, so even though my stomach and pancreas don't work, my small intestines work, so they want to try to preserve the function of my small bowel. So it's better if they put food into my intestines, so it would like keep the use of my intestines rather than like just putting it through my veins. And it's more like artificial when it's through the veins, TPN, so I rather have like the closest to real food as I can get. That's kind of where I'm at now. I don't want to have a surgical feeding tube, but if that's what I have to do to get nutrition, I'm at the point that my life is at risk. My heart is really, really suffering. I'm in heart failure, early stage heart failure. So it's a really big deal that we get the nutrition under control, because it's just putting added stress on my heart. So yeah, getting my IVs. I have had so many potassium, phosphate, and magnesium IVs since I've been here, and my potassium is still low, my phosphate is still low, magnesium is still low. So yeah, that's where we're at with that, and just wanted to give you a little update. Look at my awesome view. So they moved me to a new room. I have a private room now, all to myself, on the 4th floor. I was on the 3rd floor before. I'm back to the 4th floor where I usually stay when I'm admitted. I've been on the 5th floor too, but I usually am on the 4th floor. Anyway, they want me to try to eat as much as I can. As hard as it is, I always force myself anyway, even if I could just have a couple bites. So I got some, they want me on a bland food, low fiber diet for the gastroparesis and pancreatic insufficiency. So I got fries, plain fries. Having ketchup, but just a little bit. And I got a tuna salad sandwich. Probably shouldn't have got the lettuce, but I think it'll be okay. I was vegan for years, so I'm used to a lot of fiber. Even though now I can't tolerate it as much, I'm gonna try to have a couple bites and see how I do. Tuna is the only protein, animal protein, that I eat. I'm allergic to a lot of protein, other than like beans and I mean, I'm allergic to soybeans, but there's some beans I'm not allergic to, and I am not allergic to tuna. So there wasn't many options on the menu, so I ordered the tuna because it was considered bland and I was allowed to have it and heart healthy, low fiber, all that stuff. So yeah, it's a little dark in here. I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, I'm alone. I haven't had visitors yet today, but my mom is gonna come soon. My friend came yesterday. Oh, and my best friend Chelsea might come later too. So yeah. My update for now. I met with a cardiologist earlier. She's super concerned about my high blood pressure, especially the diastolic, even though the systolic is crazy high. They're both really high and they won't like stabilize no matter what they do. It was a little better yesterday, but I had side effects from the meds that were helping it a little, and so they switched me today onto 2 new blood pressure medications that are supposed to be like easier with the side effects, and it won't give me migraines and stuff and horrible like worsening nausea than I already have. So I don't know how that's going because today it's even higher than it was yesterday. But either way, it keeps going back up, and we really need to try to figure that out. My cardiologist is going to put me on observation to see how I do, like with putting my fluids on hold. I was doing 3 liters a day. I might have to go down to like 2 or something, maybe even 1. I don't know, because it could be potentially raising my blood pressure higher, which is no good because I could stroke out, and that's really scary. I'm lucky I'm still alive at this point, as high as it's been for so long. Anyway, I'm gonna try to eat while my stomach is like not too bad. So, wish me luck. I think I'm gonna have the fries for now and the tuna sandwich later, because it's like cold. I could save it for later because there's no way I'm gonna be able to eat all of this. I'll probably just have as much fries as I can. Ow. I have a little window, which is cool, but the view is not nearly as nice as the last room, but still see some trees, so happy for that. I was admitted a week ago after I had SVT and my hypertensive crisis got really bad. Mostly it was for the hypertension. It went to 263 over 135, which has been staying around 200 for way too long, scary long, but this was the worst I've ever seen it. I didn't even know it could get that high. I've been in 3 different rooms since they admitted me. Cardiac unit, and then I got a little more stable, got out of the cardiac unit, and then I got back into the cardiac unit because they were worried about a stroke the other night. Not only did my blood pressure stay high and keep going back high, but I had blurry vision, like some lightheadedness. I couldn't see, I couldn't focus on anything. It was really scary. It wasn't like my normal blurry. It was really bad, and so they were afraid I was having a stroke and rushed me back to a CT scan. Thankfully, no stroke, thank God. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to be alive, having such severe high blood pressure for so long. So everything is finally starting to look good. A week later, they had to put this tube in because nothing was stabilizing me, and my cardiologist from home, one of my outpatient cardiologists, he's been trying to get me on nutrition for a while because I've been malnourished for a really long time. I've been dealing with malabsorption for a really long time, since 2012, so it's been like 11 years. And I just keep losing weight and getting worse. And even though I'm not at my lowest weight ever, I'm very underweight and I'm very weak, and just being so malnourished has put a lot of extra stress and more workload on my heart and arteries that it's too much for my body already as it is. I had the septal infarct in the beginning of the year, which is a heart attack. So, and my heart has damage, so we have to be like, you know, on top of this. So I'm not surprised that they got things going. Honestly, I think they should have done it years ago because this is what I've needed for a long time, but I'm just so grateful that we're finally going in the right direction. This sucks, but they put it in yesterday, and within an hour or two after starting my feeds, which are up and running, it's almost finished. It's like, I don't know if you can see it up there. But yeah, since starting my feeds, my blood pressure finally stabilized a little bit, more than I've seen it. Like, it's the normal, closest to normal I've seen in years. I've been in this hypertensive crisis for a long time without my blood pressure coming down, so I'm really grateful that the nutrition has helped, because we've tried all the strongest meds, all like the strongest antihypertensives. It's rotated. I've tried so many over the years, and nothing was helping. Nothing was helping. So even if it would bring it down to like 170, 180, maybe 160 at the lowest. So, and ideally I should be like close to 120 or at least under 150 systolic. But they were worried about my diastolic as well, my bottom number as well as my top number. They were super concerned. So they had me on the heart monitor for a few days in observation. I'm so grateful that things are finally looking in the right direction, and things are looking up. I already feel so much stronger and more energetic, and it's only been like 24 hours since I've been getting the tube feeds to my intestines, like skipping or bypassing my stomach and going to my jejunum, which is my small intestines. So it's called post-pyloric feeding, which just means it's past the pylorus, which is where your stomach like kind of like meets your intestines. So since my stomach is not working from gastroparesis, meaning it's really slow, it's partially paralyzed, my food just sits there. And this is why for 11 years I've had severe nausea, vomiting, and severe pain every single day, not just when I eat, but when I try to drink. I've tried to be on like a formula for a while that my dietitian had prescribed called Peptamen, because it's like good for pancreatic insufficiency, and my pancreas has been failing. I have less than 10% function left, unfortunately. So because my pancreas is failing, it doesn't produce the pancreatic enzymes that are needed to break down and absorb the food that I eat. So not only is my stomach not working, but my pancreas isn't working. So between the two, I've been really, really doing poorly, and I've been not just bedbound, but so weak to like take care of myself. Been too weak to shower or like go out, even for doctor's appointments. That's been really hard. Just getting on my phone, not just because of my arthritis, but from the weakness, for a few months was really tough. I think I spent 4 or 5 months just in bed, not doing like anything other than fighting my symptoms and trying to survive. I'm just so grateful to be here, so I'm not complaining. But yeah, this has been a scary admission, but a good one, because things are finally starting to look up and head in the right direction. My blood work is looking better, my counts are going up already, which is awesome. I didn't think it would happen so soon. I was gagging like crazy when they put this in, but I'm getting used to it, even though it still hurts a lot and it's super uncomfortable. And no matter what I do, if I talk or move, I could feel the tube moving in my throat. And when I swallow, I feel like I'm swallowing it, which I kind of am swallowing it. They had to put this bridle to keep it in place. If you're wondering, the bridle goes on each nostril, one on this side, one on this side, to secure the tube in place so it doesn't get yanked out of my intestines, like when I'm sleeping or something. And it's held in place by a magnet. So if you were wondering, like I was before, how do those stay in place? The other update is, since this is temporary, they won't let me go home with this, the NJ tube, so I am scheduled for a GJ surgical tube, which is one in the intestines to feed me into the intestines like this is, but it doesn't have to go through my nose. It goes straight through a hole in my intestines, And then they're gonna put another hole in my stomach where I guess I could vent when I'm sick, which is, you know, often. It was every day, but so far I'm doing good. I'm tolerating the feeds. I've had some nausea, but no pain, which is awesome. I'm so grateful for that. It's been such a relief. I cried so many happy tears, like, once I finally got my nutrition, because my body's been waiting for this for so long. It's been running on empty for so long. And I didn't know how much longer my heart would hold out and my body would hold out. So God is good. He always steps in at the right time. So yeah, I'm excited that I'm going to get this out soon and go to interventional radiology here in the hospital for the surgical tube. So one is going to vent where if I'm sick, I could just open it up, the hole in my stomach, or the button, I guess, and just like release the contents to help get relief. Since no medicine helps me with that, I have intractable nausea. That should be really helpful. So I'm really excited for that. And yeah, they have me feeding all day long. I've been feeding since like 9 last night, and it's almost 7 o'clock. Constant. I've just been running on constant feeds. It's really at a slow rate. The most painful part was when they were giving me the water flushes, when they were flushing the tube with the water, which is not there, but there. You can see I have my IV going, and then I have the Kangaroo Joey, which has the water. And that was super nauseating every time they would pump the water through, even though it was going like at 10 miles an hour or something. So they stopped that, so it's not as, it was flushing every hour, which was way too much because it was making me really nauseous every time. So now that it's not happening every hour, it's much better. Grateful for that. Throat is killing me. And it was really hard to sleep because you can't lay down flat with an NJ tube, because if you lay down flat, it raises the risk of aspiration pneumonia, where like the liquid or fluids can get into your lungs, and which is very serious. So I had to sleep at a 30-degree angle, so basically sitting up, and that was really tough. So I'm just super excited that I get to take this out and that I have an option for getting stronger and more stable in the long term, not just, you know, if I ever got stable before, it was not even stable. It was just like not super critical, and then it went right back after an hour. It would shoot back up, and I would be in hypertensive crisis again, and like the SVT, AFib. It's so much going on with my heart and blood pressure that, you know, and my new POTS cardiologist said, like, your POTS has progressed to the point that nothing is helping because you're so malnourished and your body is like starving for nutrition. And without that nutrition, it's putting so much stress on your heart, and you already have so much stress on your heart, so you don't need the extra workload on the heart. Oh man, I can't talk too much because it really hurts. So I just wanted to update. I have an awesome view. This is the third room that I've had. I had a roommate, so I couldn't really talk much, or vlog much, but I'm trying my best. She just got transferred, so I'm by myself for now, but I don't know how long that will be. Check out my window. It's a pretty sweet view. Got some trees, which is always nice. I actually prayed when I was in the ER before I got admitted a week ago, that I would get a nice room with a good view, window view. And so far this is like the third room that they put me by the window. So God has been answering my prayers, and yeah, I'm gonna keep my faith, because anytime I think that, you know, anytime I start to lose hope, I just remind myself God's timing is the perfect timing. He knows what's best for us. He knows how much we could handle, even if it feels like we can't handle it. And it does feel that way a lot. But I'm still here, I'm still alive, and I'm so grateful. Grateful for each moment, grateful for nutrition. Yay! It looks like chocolate milk. Let me see if I could show you the actual bottle. I don't know if you could see it. I'll show you later because it's too far and I can't get up because they have a bed alarm. So if I stand up, the bed is gonna like scream because I'm not supposed to get up on my own. Yeah, and by the way, my blood counts are getting up, but so are my like minerals. Like when I first came here, the whole like first 5 or 6 days, my potassium, before they started me on the feeds, the nutrition, my potassium and my phosphorus was critically low, my magnesium was really low, and even if they were giving it to me, it just kept dropping. So I was having IVs every day, and then I would still need more because it just kept dropping. Because that's what happens when you don't have a nutrition that your body can actually absorb and utilize. So finally today I did need a potassium IV, which was cool. Just had some Phenergan, alternating Phenergan and Zofran for the nausea, which normally doesn't help at all. But today it's been hit or miss, mostly hit, which is good, but that's because I haven't been as nauseous, especially since they stopped the like water push. or water drip, flush, whatever it is. So that's really good. Oops, something else I wanted to update with and I forgot. Oh, but yeah, they're sampling me on longevity, which at home I'm gonna go back to Peptamen because it's easier. It's a peptide formula. It's better for malabsorption for my pancreatic insufficiency. But since they don't have that in the hospital, they have me on the next best thing, which is Longevity 1.5. It looks like chocolate milk. I'll show it to you later. But the only thing about that is, even though it's supposed to be more closer to real food, which is always good, it has a couple things that I'm intolerant to, like corn and soy, which I still eat sometimes, but I am intolerant, and my dietitian says if I eat foods that I'm intolerant to, it can cause more inflammation and cause more symptoms. So I need to avoid that. So I'm sure when I get discharged and go back home, and home health is gonna supply all the supplies for my feeding tube and the formula. They already supply me the formula, the Peptamen, because I've been on it for like 3 months at home trying to drink it orally. Haven't been able to drink more than like half a day, guys, or maybe one at best. That's how hard it's been. That's how bad my nausea and vomiting has been, and stomach pain. The pain, within a few seconds of eating or drinking even, my pain would get so bad, and then a little later, 20 minutes later or so, the nausea would kick in, and then I would throw up a lot, and even when I didn't throw up, the nausea was just relentless. The nausea literally would never go away every day. And it's been that way since 2012, so this has been a long road, guys. I'm so grateful to finally make it here, that I wasn't sure if I would make it. I wasn't sure if my body would give out. I had so many close calls. Really scary stuff, but finally we are getting on the right intervention, the right treatment, which is my nutrition. It's working much better than any medication has, both IV or oral. So yeah, that's my update for now. I need to rest my voice, and I'm gonna rest up because tomorrow is my surgery. He said it takes about an hour. Hopefully there will be no complications. I'm finally stable enough for surgery, guys. It's been 5 years that I've needed to remove some ovarian cysts and fibroids, but I haven't got a clearance because my blood pressure was never coming down below like 170, 180. I've been literally in a sustained hypertensive crisis for a couple of years or more, which is really scary. And I've needed like a replacement for my line that I've had for like 3 years. So now I can finally start to do all these things now that I'm a little more stable with the nutrition that I need. So good stuff. We're heading in the right direction. And yeah, I'm super excited that I finally have energy to vlog, and that I'm getting stronger, and my blood work and my vitals are starting to look a little bit more stable. So good stuff. By the way, if you're wondering why I have a limb alert, it's because I still have a blood clot in this arm, and that means they can't use this arm for blood draws or blood pressure readings. So I just got word that they're transferring me again back to the medical ward because I didn't have a stroke, and so I don't need to be in the cardiac unit anymore, and I'm off the heart monitor. So good and bad, because this will be the 6th room in 12 days. That's kind of exhausting, but at least it means I'm somewhat stable, so that's good. For the first time, I am not by the window, which kind of sucks, but it's okay. All the other rooms I stayed in, I was by the window and got lucky, so yeah, that's always nice. And it looks like it's sunny. I wish I could get up and move around a little. Maybe I should call the nurses and ask if I'm allowed to do that, because I really need to stretch and move around. I've been doing some stretching and meditation and stuff like that, like I always do when I'm in the hospital, but I really need to like move my body, so hopefully they'll allow that. And this is actually the 5th room I've stayed in this hospital stay over these last 12 days. They just keep switching me back to between the can't talk. They keep switching me back between the cardiac care unit and the regular medical ward. This is a double room, but I actually don't have a roommate this time, which is awesome. When I was in the medical ward, I had my own private room, but at least this room, for now, I'm not sharing, so that's pretty cool. And that's another reason I haven't been able to vlog as much, just for privacy reasons, and I didn't want to like annoy anybody. So yeah, just give you a slight room tour. I'm not allowed to get up on my own because the bed alarm will go off, because I'm weak and like could fall and stuff, but I'm just going to show you a quick like 360. I'm just running my fluids right now and my feed up there, and where's the fluids? There. Today's the first day that I haven't had magnesium, potassium, or phosphate. Today's the first day that I haven't had a magnesium or potassium phosphate IV. I have had refeeding syndrome, and so they've been really like concerned with my electrolytes, and I've been getting a lot of like fluids and even like dextrose, which is, I don't know why, because my blood sugars are high, but I guess I needed it at one point, and I've been needing potassium phosphate and magnesium IVs every day for the 12 days that I've been here. So today's the first day so far, and it's like 1:15, so I don't know if I'm going to have one later or if my counts are getting up. I haven't checked what my last blood counts were, but they've been steadily, slowly rising, so that's really good because they've been so low for so many years. My bun was critically, it was like so low for years, and it was always like so, almost nothing. It was really depleted, like 2 or around there. And within a couple days of starting the nutrition, it's gone up to like 6 or 7, which is amazing. I haven't seen it in normal range in years. And all my other blood counts are going up and looking much better. My vitals are better today. Of course, I'm still have hypertension. They're still monitoring me, but it's much better. So we're moving in the right direction, and that's a lot to be grateful for. I'm using my cute little stomach that I needed because my stomach doesn't work. Katie gave it to me. Thank you, Katie. I love it so much. I'm using it as a pillow, and it turns out to be an awesome pillow. My hair's a mess. We're gonna ignore that. Today's day 12 in the hospital, so that's to be expected. I actually got moved back to the cardiac telemetry unit last night because they had called another code stroke alert, because they were afraid I was going into a stroke. My blood pressure shot up near 200 again, and I had trouble seeing, like really bad. It was very blurry. I was having double vision, and I have never had such trouble with my vision before. I have Sjogren's and high optic pressure and blurriness and problems with my eyes, but my eyesight has never been that bad. It was really scary, so they called the stroke alert on the intercom, and a bunch of nurses and doctors rushed in from the ICU. And they got me back here to the cardiac care unit, and they transferred me here, and they rushed me back to a CT scan to make sure I wasn't having a stroke. Thank God, no stroke. But I'm still on observation and stroke alert, so they're just doing all the neurological tests and checking my eyes and speech and, you know, if I can move, if I can read, and all of that. Luckily, my vision is better today than it was yesterday. It was really scary, and since I didn't have a stroke, they came to the conclusion, and I came to the conclusion, that it was another medication reaction from the propranolol, because apparently propranolol can affect the vision, and I had just switched over to a really high dose of propranolol like 3 times a day, every 8 hours, and then that's a couple days later the vision got bad, and then by yesterday it was horrible. So it was really scary. Just so grateful I didn't have a stroke. It's been a wild ride, guys. But yeah, that's just my update for now. Back in the cardiac unit on observation. They have me back on the monitor. So I have like a ton of tubes. Still healing from my GJ tube surgery, but it's getting better. gosh, I have so many wires. It's my tube, the wires for the cardiac monitor. And yeah, my site for my GJ tube looks really good. It's no blood or anything. Looks like it's healing pretty well. So they got the NJ out yesterday, thankfully, and it feels amazing because that was awful. It was like constantly choking me, and I have so many sores in my nose and my throat. And I only had it for like a week, but it was a 12 French. It was really big. And now that I'm somewhat tolerating the feeds, I'm not quite there yet at my goal rate, but I'm tolerating them somewhat, even though I'm having pain and nausea. They were able to take that out and just rely on the GJ tube. So it's kind of a mess right now, but I'll show you more later when I don't have all these wires and tell you and explain how it works. Yeah, I haven't really been updating much because I've been feeling so rough. I've had a lot of migraines and nausea and vomiting and just a lot of pain from the surgical site here. So yeah, it's been really rough, and it's hard being in the hospital for almost 2 weeks, but I'm hanging in here and just focusing on the good. I'm coloring, doing some crossword puzzles. Love me some puzzles. Let me get my coloring book and show you what I colored. So I colored this jellyfish. I love the colors of this. This is such a nice little coloring book. Thank you, Linda. I'm so grateful for the coloring book and the markers. They've been really helpful this admission, and I'm going to continue it, well, of course, as much as I can, as much as my arthritis will allow when I get home. This one I love, so fun, little field mouse, some strawberries and mushrooms, and then I did this one. So yeah, there's so many cool pictures in here to color. My hands are really hurting, but when I can color more, I will for sure.